Hello, it's Phil again with another conversion. This is the OS Pixie, which in its time was, I think, probably one of the smallest single channel transmitters available. It's a full range transmitter, 27 meg, 2.4 aerial there. This is the original aerial. The older members might remember this one with the centre loaded little plastic covered centre loaded coil there. So we're on 2.4 gigs. This uses a Frisky V8 DIY module, the old V8 one-way. It's uncased, and in order to get it all in, I've had to remove all the stiff Frisky wiring between the bind board and the pos and egg and PPM inputs. It's all been replaced by a really thin servo wire. I think it's 28 gauge, it's quite small. The single channel encoder, I've just trimmed off the Futaba connector because I'm not using that, which makes it about 1/4 of an inch shorter. So everything fits in nicely. There's actually plenty of room in there. It's the original Pixie switch. I have changed the button. I found a button that's almost identical to the Pixie one. It had a red button, so I've had to paint it black, but it looks like the old Pixie button, but it's much nicer. It's got a nice tactile click to it. And what we have is the usual LEDs down the side here. Just put the top back on. This on the side is the Frisky module LED. That hole used to be the tuner for the aerial coil. That's now got the Frisky Bind LED. These are the single channel encoder LEDs, so it's one for right with green LED, two for left with a red LED, quick lip throttle, so that's half throttle, and it's flashing fast. That's telling me that the next throttle change will be towards fast throttle. So there we are on full throttle, half throttle again, it's flashing slow to tell me that the next move is slow. So that's the throttle off. It has the usual single channel setup whereby you hold the button, switch on, and it goes through the 8 switches, either red or green, for on or off. And when it's saved the 8 settings, diddle it means that it's saved it. So there we go. So here we have a V8FR Frisky receiver and 3 servos representing rudder, elevator and throttle, and the transmitter here. So one for right and the green LED, two for left with the red LED, 3 for kick up elevator, red and green together looks a bit yellowish, and then quick blip for the throttle. So no yellow LED means the throttle is off. Quick blip, we're on half throttle and the LED is flashing. It's flashing fast to tell you that the next quick blip will give you fast throttle. So that's on full throttle now. Half throttle and a slow flash to tell you that the next move will be to low throttle or slow. Now you're probably wondering, if you've not seen the single channel encoder before, why is the rudder servo cycling when we change throttle? The reason is because that's how an escapement works. It's a true single channel escapement emulation. You'll also notice that on kick up elevator there's a tiny remnant of rudder left. The reason is because that's how the escapements worked. It was a stop on the pole just before neutral, and there was a remaining tiny amount of rudder which was probably lost in the sloppiness of the linkage, but it is a true emulation. It also has all the other features of the single channel setup. It has servo reversing on rudder and elevator. It has throw adjust, actually just 2 settings, high or low throw, which is like full throw or half throw. It has a range check mode whereby you can set the servo cycling, put the transmitter down, walk away with the model to give it a range check. It actually has 2 modes. It has compound or sequential emulation. This is compound, which you've seen there. Sequential just means that every press alternates between left and right. And it also has a 10-minute inactivity timer, so if I was to leave that there for 10 minutes it would start beeping. Obviously I can't demonstrate that, it takes too long, but it would start beeping away just to let you know that you've left it on. There's no need to do anything, just carry on using it, press the button or whatever will reset the timer. In sequential mode it has motor run timers for electrics or throttle servo for IC power models. You can set timers to 1, 2, 4 minutes, whatever you like, and it will cut off the motor after that precise time. It has a manual startup in sequential mode, so you can start the motor running whenever you like. It then times out after the specific time, just like a Cox Babe bee running out of juice. So that's the Pixie. The significance of this is that this was the very first commercial RC set that me and my dad had when I was a nipper. I'd be maybe 11 years old, something like that, maybe 12. Probably 11 years old at the time. So I'm really pleased to get this one. So here's the set in operation, my old faithful Tomboy. It's 1 for right, green LED, 2 for left with the red LED, quick blip throttle, half, full, half, and off. 1 for right, 2 for left, 3 for kick up elevator, although this model doesn't have an elevator. That would be the kick up elevator.